happy to see all of you, Ayala and Eti and Lynn, and hi again, and Jason, welcome, and Tiki and Lisa and Moni, and my amazing colleague, Daniel and Stephanie, and the one and the only one, Dr. Simcha Leibovich. So we are very happy to be here to give you some added value by Jewish National Fund, USA, and Keren Kayemet Israel, and Alexander Moss High School in Israel, to give you an added value for your holy work, because the purpose of the work of Jewish National Fund and Keren Kayemet Israel is to help you, to empower and to strengthen the Jewish identity of your students and the connection to Israel, to put Israel at their bottom of the heart. So we have a series of training, and this evening is a part of the series, a monthly one. And today we have the honor to host Dr. Simcha Leibovich. And let me ask Stephanie, please introduce Dr. Simcha, please.
Sure. Hi, everyone. I'm just going to introduce Dr. Simcha Leibovich. So, as the former North American representative of the World Zionist Organization executives, Dr. Simcha Leibovich used to oversee the entire operation of the WZO movement in North America, including its popular teacher emissary unit, Shlichim. He's also a founding member of the Hebrew Literary Council, a master teacher, trainer, and co-editor of the Encyclopedia for Social Educational Activities. Dr. Simcha Leibovich has worked as Dean of Informal Education at Orot Academic College for Education and Givat Washington College of Education for over 3 decades. For 30 years, Simcha ran the Summer Merkaz, the Educational Programming Center, online educational activities for the Ramah camps in the United States and Canada. A consummate advisor and supervisor to youth movements across Israel and the world, Simcha is the founding director of the Outdoor Center for Leadership at Neot Kedumim, Bible Lands Reservation, for over a decade. We're so happy to have you with us. Simcha, please take it away.
Okay, it's my honor to join you tonight, actually this morning in Israel. And unbelievable, we can see all the world in one shot. What we are going to try to do today is to share with you some thoughts about experiential learning. So feel free whenever I ask a question to unmute yourself and to join the conversation, because a basic principle of experiential learning is to have a dialogue. It can't be just a monologue or a lecture. You can never know what happens in someone's mind and someone's heart if you don't give him a chance to participate and to express his thoughts or his feelings. Actually, I just told Daniel that the first dialogue, the first conversation or the first communication in the world that was by God was a dialogue. He didn't knew exactly what Adam did in eating the apple, always blaming your wife, yes, but it's part of the fact that he knew exactly what he did, and he could go directly and say, "What did you do? How could you behave like that? I just trusted you," and you know, etc. To speak up. Instead of doing that, he asked him a question, Ayeka. Ayeka means, where are you in this world? And he expected the man to start to, the man, as usual, started to blame others. But the idea, someone please, okay. So I'm going to share with you a story that most of you might know, but I'll do it again anyway, because in this, by leading this story or this activity, I want to show you some principles of experiential learning, at least as I understand it. So please, Daniel, are you ready? The story was written by Shel Silverstein, that all of you know him, and it's called The Giving Tree, that I believe that you did it so many. But before we start, I want to ask you a question. Everyone has a tree in his life. My question is, who was your tree? And you see at the beginning, by the way, he's not just the writer, he also the painter, he created the pictures of the, so the first page, you see, he gives a leaf to someone. Okay, go on. Okay, once there was a tree. Okay, now, as you can look at a tree, a big tree, it gives you to imagine how big it is. Young tree, very strong. And she loved a little boy. Go on, please. And every day the boy would come and would gather leaves and make them into crown and play king of the forest. Look at his nose. And he has a crown on his head, but the tree is also trying to give him a shade of a crown. And if you see it, it's what we call self-esteem. It gives him a feeling that he's very important in the center of his interests. Please go on. You would climb a trunk and swing from the branches. If you can, can see his feet coming out of the branches, yes. Go on. And eat apples. Go on. And they would play hide and seek. Look how the tree is looking for him. And when he was tired, look, he would sleep in her shade. Go on, please. And the boy loved the tree. Look how he hugs him. And he also, go on. You see the heart which says me and tree very much. And the tree was happy. Go on, Daniel. But time went by. The kid that, as you see, and the boy grew older, you see another heart there. And the tree was often alone. Look how his body language changes. Instead of going like this when he came as a kid, he hugs himself. When you're lonely, this is a body language of someone is hugging himself. Yes. Go on. Then one day the boy came to the tree, and the tree said, go on. Come, boy, come and climb up my trunk and swing from my branches and eat apples and play in my shade and be happy. He still calls him a boy. He looks like a young man, yes? I'm too big to climb and play, said the boy. Yes. I want to buy things and have fun. I want some money. Can you give me some money? Let's go to this next. I'm sorry, said the tree, but I have no money. No, go on. I have only leaves and apples. Take my apples, boy, and sell them in the city. Then you will have money and you'll be happy. And so the boy climbed up the tree and gathered apples and carried them away, and the tree was happy. But the boy stayed away for a long time, and the tree was sad. Go on. And then one day the boy came back, and the tree shook with joy, and she said, come, boy, climb up my trunk and swing from my branches and be happy. Look how He's so happy. He opens again his hands. Yes? Go on. I'm too busy to climb trees, said the boy. Go on. I want a house to keep me warm, he said. I want a wife and I want children, so I need a house. Can you give me a house? I have no house, said the tree. The forest is my house, but you may cut off my branches and build a house, then you will be happy. And so the boy cut off her branches, and the tree, you're right, he carried them away to build his home, his house, and the tree was happy. No branches anymore, no apples, but still happy. But the boy stayed away for a long time. Go on. And when he came back, the tree was so happy she could hardly speak. Come, boy, she whispered, come and play. I'm too old and sad to play, said the boy. I want a boat that will take me far away from here. Can you give me a boat? Cut down my trunk and made a boat, said the tree. Then you can sail away and be happy. And so the boy cut down a trunk, go on, and made a boat and sailed away. Now, wait a minute. And the tree was happy, but, go on, was happy, but not really. Go on. And after a long time, the boy came back again. Look at our boy, he still calls him a boy, yes? I'm sorry, boy, said the tree, but I have nothing left to give you. My apples are gone. My teeth are too weak for apples, said the boy. My branches are gone, said the tree. You cannot swing on them. I'm too old to swing on branches, said the boy. My trunk is gone, said the tree. You cannot climb. Go on. I'm too tired to climb, said the tree. I'm sorry, sighed the tree. I wish I could give you something, but I have nothing left. I'm just an old stump. I'm sorry. I don't need very much now, said the boy. Just a place, just a quiet place to sit and rest. I'm very tired. Well, said the tree, straightening herself up as she could. Well, an old stump is good for sitting and resting. Come, boy, sit down and rest. And the boy did, and the tree was happy. And here, Silverstein gives us the same picture again, and with a title, The End. When I was a kid, let's stop here. When I was a kid, usually in every movie, when they used to write the end, they wanted people to go home, or there wasn't sometimes. So let's go back to our question, and here you are more than invited to participate. Those who have an ideas. You remember my question? Who was your tree? What did this tree reminded you? Any association with a tree? Anyone? Okay. Most of the people, what do you think most of the people say?
The parents.
Of course, parents. Some people say grandparents. You know, when I have people from kibbutzim, they say the kibbutz, we left him, but we always come back to take. And I have also some examples that people spoke about good teachers, or someone tell me God. So my question is, why do people give so much? If it's parents, they're ready to give everything they have. What is the motivation to give? Can you show me the full screen of the old? Take off the presentation. I would like to see the people when I speak to them. Okay, okay. So what's crazy presentation? People are ready to give unbelievable.
I think seeing the continuity of the next generation and passing things down and helping kind of just the cycle of life and the cycle of everything.
Uh-huh. So when you give, you think about the next generation and to keep things alive. Okay, other ideas?
Yes, love and responsibility. You know, love parents, love the kids, and they feel responsible and they want their to.
Thank you, Ayala. Ayala, you think everyone speaks Hebrew here? Everyone speaks Hebrew?
No, please continue in English
Okay,
for the
okay.
recording in any case, Simcha.
Okay, we'll continue. We'll continue.
Thank you.
Okay, fine, no
I
problem.
want to say something. Yeah,
Etty.
Etty. Yes.
Okay.
For me, I just give. I'm not thinking about that, you know, because it's like something that it just came natural to give
It's
to my
natural.
kids. Yes, it's
It's
like I
natural.
don't. Yes.
So some of you speak about responsibility of it's natural, you don't think about it. But still, even Etty, you don't think there is something that really drives you to give. What is that drive? Why do you want the kids to be so successful? We want everything for them. We are working so hard. So some people
have a better future, when I'm not gonna be here all the time, you know. So just to, you know, to give them a better future so they will know how to in the future. They don't need me in the future.
okay.
To give
I
them
would
a
say love. They want them to be happy. They love them and they give them what they should.
Any other ideas? Okay. You are very altruistic because I believe that many people give because it makes them feel good. Just makes them feel wonderful and make them feel strong. Daniel, can you take me to the last slide? It's a Hebrew word.
You know what, Dr. Leibovich, I think, you know, when it comes to people or to friends, when you give something, really, you feel great. But when it comes to children, it's even more than this.
It was okay. The last Venatnu, it was good. Daniel, yeah. Sorry, I interrupted you. Okay. Say it again, Aliza. Yes.
It's Ayala. No, I say
Ayala, slicha. Yeah.
No, I said that when it comes to children, to people that we know or we don't know, and we give and we donate and we give or doing, we really feel great by giving them. But when it's we are talking about our children, it's more than this. It's something, you know. It's the responsibility.
But it's still. It's more than this, but the basic thing, it makes you happy. When you see kids, you come to, let's say your kid plays in the orchestra, you come to listen to the music and you feel so proud. Wow, it's my son. You know, it looks like his dad or something like that. I mean, so I want to share with you an amazing word in Hebrew. It's from the Torah. It says, venatnu. If you look, what's special about this word? It's a palindrome. You can read it from right to left.
I see, it's really from right to left and from left to right, the same letters, you know, that we.
That's called a palindrome, yes. And the idea, you know, Hebrew is a smart word, and even you know when you read it in the Torah, those of you who had bar mitzvah or bat mitzvah, you know, the ta'amim are kadma ve'azla, which goes back and forth. Even those who made the music or the Ta'amei Mikra give the same interpretation. When you give something, you get something.
You get, exactly.
Yes. רצית להגיד משהו, אתי? You want to say something, Eti?
Yes, actually, I also look the same, but what I see also, Bob and Nun and Bob, it's like I see a parents on both sides and the kids in the middle. So some the mom and the dad, and some of the dad and the mom. So, but
No, I never thought about it. Wow, that's very
this
creative.
visual, this is what I see in my mind. Like we always give,
Wow.
you know, like we otfim et ha'iladim
Yeah,
all the way. The child is
we
in the middle.
embrace them. No, the idea here, and this is the amazing word. So, most of us, or all of us, the highest motivation of giving is something you get back. Can you give me again the full screen to see all the people, all the participants? Thank you. Now, if you can see faces, please. It's very important to our conversation to see all of you. By the way, you are very beautiful, so you don't have to hide. So the main reason of giving is to make us feel good. My kid is successful, I'm a good parent, I get back. Now, it might sound a little egoistic, but that's what we are. I think whoever you believe created us, made it inside. I believe that God Hashem created us, so we will be able and motivated to give. Otherwise, as you said, Jason, there will be no continuation of a society. You know, I know parents. Unfortunately, I worked for a few years with parents whose their kids went to a bad way. Some of them were in prison and all kind of stuff like that. And they told me that it's so hard for them to give. They feel so frustrated, but still they feel that they have to give. Now, I want to ask myself a new question. If I give for myself, my question is, what do you get? What get to all those people who give anonymously? Or let's say, I know when I was a soldier, I remember the first time I came home and I got a rifle, you know, one of them bus, I felt so proud that everyone looked at me. I guess you had the same ideas. And this was my motivation. I didn't think about the state of Israel. I didn't think about Sahel. I thought about myself. People, I want to get this admiration, the support. So what do those soldiers who no one knows exactly what they do, they don't even have uniforms. We have soldiers like that. What do they get back? Or I know when I give a shekel to the synagogue, I want a big sign, but I know some people who give anonymously and no one knows what they're doing, or they help people. What do they get back? Understand? Is it my question is clear? Yes. So I will give you the answer because we are very short in time. Those people, the higher you are in giving, less feedback you need from outside. You have the inside feedback. You feel you are important. You feel high. You know that your general knows exactly who you are, or the prime minister knows what you do. But usually people want it from outside. You know, as teachers, how much is to give a positive reinforcement when you say, good job, or eze yofi. Yes, you know that. Or your kids, when you give them the smile, you know what positive reinforcement means, yes? You work with it all day. So now I want to ask you, what do you think about this kid? A good kid, a bad kid, normal kid. What would you say about him? If, let's say, you have to give a report to his parents after this behavior in this story, what would you say? Which kind of kid? Most of you have so much experience with children, not just with your own, with your students. What would you say about this kid? Yes, Eti.
I think this kid just, no one gave him gvulot, like limits, and just he keep trying and trying. So I would say it's kind of normal, you know, like because
He's not normal. He's not a normal kid.
No, it is normal,
I
and
see.
because if we give everything, you know, it didn't teach him. It just whatever he wants, he just gets. So I did not give him any gvulot, you know, any boundaries.
Any limits, any yes.
Yes.
Okay,
Like no
thank
one
you.
teach him, you know, like
Okay. Who else? What do you think about? So, how did you feel when he took his trunk, when he cut his trunk? Share with me your feelings. What do you think when he did that? Yes.
Thought he was selfish.
You think he's selfish, Daniel?
As a child, it's okay, but as an adult, to take that final step, I felt like that was selfish.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
Good.
I think that, you know, as he's growing up all the time, he's continue acting like a boy, like a child, that everything, he deserves everything and immediate and everything he needs to get, you know, only asking, not thinking of giving back or something. So
You join Daniel saying he's selfish. Okay. Anyone else? Okay. This is what usually, yes.
Sorry.
Moni?
I wanted to say that I think that it's a normal kid and that he will become in the future, he will become in a tree and he's going to give the same for his kids. So it's like a circle of life, right?
Okay. Okay. So, you know what? I tell you a personal story. So some people say it's a normal kid, some people say a good kid, some people say this is a circle of life, some people say he's very selfish. And most people are mad at this kid because he took everything. Yes? That's what from my experience, because I did this activity so many times. You see, when I was 30, many years ago, I got this book as a present. It just came out in Hebrew. And I was the head of a school of leadership training for youth movements. And my assistant decided to surprise me. It was my birthday. And she gave me, they threw a party for me, you know, like they used to do those days, surprise. And they gave me the book. And she wrote me to Simcha, the Giving Tree. And I took the book home and everyone loved this book. And I didn't understand why, because I went to the last picture. Can you show us the last pictures when he sits and he said the end? I went to the last picture and tell you frankly, I was insulted. I asked myself, is this the way people see me? Look, okay, no. This is exactly, thank you, Daniel. Look at this picture. How, if you have to give another title, what would you call it? Is it a happy picture? No. The end of what? Tell me, the end of what?
life.
Of life. There's no continuity. You know, I think the last one who spoke said he is a role model. So I asked myself, this is in Hebrew, Zot Torah v'Zot Schara. This is the award. Someone is so good and so generous. Oh, by the way, they call the book in Hebrew, Etz Hanadiv, the generous tree, not the giving tree, like in English. So I was even confused. What's it? I try to understand, is generosity a good word or a bad word? Go back to the picture, Daniel, to the sad picture. Oh, you should see this. Thank you. You see the cover of the book, Etz Hanadiv? You saw it just now? So I asked myself, this is not a normal life. This is not the Jewish way of thinking. You work so hard for your kid, and this is your end. He gave everything he had, and this is your end. So I understood. The first time I find out that I had a big mistake, so I put the book away, and I thought, It's not an educational book. I don't want to use it. And then I came to the States and I used to work for Ramah camps in Wisconsin, and I saw the book in English. It says, not the giving tree, not the generous tree. It's called the giving tree. I said, now I understand the book. And let's go back to see the full screen, please. Okay. The kid, the tree is not a generous one. Is a giver. Why did he give all? Why did he give so much? Which kind of relation he wanted to develop? We call it dependence. He was afraid to be lonely. He wanted the kid with him. So I don't think it's a bad kid. I don't think it's I think it's a poor kid. It's a dependent kid. You see, whenever he needs something, and I make it short because I have exactly 10 minutes, so I make it short. Whenever he needs something, he comes back to the tree. The first time he comes, he asks for, I want money he sees everyone has money and wants to travel the world. And so the tree, what should be a parent's or a teacher's answer here? What should you answer? So your kid comes and asks for money. What should you answer? You have any, yes? You say, take the money, take my apples, huh?
What do you need it for? Like,
Well, that's a good start. I would ask as a good Jew with an answer, like you, Etty. I would ask him, you have any idea how to get some money? I mean, you want money? Come on, challenge him. He looks like a teenager or even more.
it's my husband answer, not me.
Yeah, yes, by the way, how does he call him? Boy.
Huh?
He calls him boy. Even when he's
Boy.
90 years old, he calls him boy.
Yeah,
He doesn't want him to grow.
that's
He wanted
exactly.
to be dependent. He wanted to be dependent on him. So that's why he doesn't give him a chance to grow. He calls him a boy. And he comes back, he said, and then you get, and you'll be happy. So he says, this is my message as a parent, money will make you happy. He comes back, he didn't help. He comes back and he says, I want a house. I want a home. That's why I need a house. I want a family. So instead of telling, did you check any other opportunities how to get a house? It's not my responsibility. I'm not saying I'm not giving. If the kid will tell me, see, when you are a teacher, you are educators. Most of the kids want your attention. So sometimes they say, oh, can you help me? A good answer of a teacher should be, do you have any idea how to solve it? Give him back. It's not, you see, you are, the money, the salary you get is so low that you don't have to give him answers. No, I'm just kidding. But at least you have to challenge him. Otherwise, he'll never grow. So the tree wanted to develop a dependence. He wanted to be dependent on him. He comes back. He wants a house. He said, oh, no problem. Take my branches and build yourself a house. And then he wants a boat. He comes back. He's not happy. You know, I want to fly far, far away from here. So make yourself a boat. He cuts himself. So the kid is never happy. Who is happy in the story, by the way? Only the tree.
The tree. Mm-hmm.
The tree, because he gives. The kid is never happy. He's sad. Look at his face. Look at his face. The wonderful drawing or picture. By the way, Silverstein did it himself. He didn't just wrote the book. He also made the pictures. You know. By the way, this is his main job. He was a graphic designer for Playboy. You won't believe that's what he did, but I think he's a great writer and a smart educator. So I want to ask you, my friends, what is the key word in this story? What is the word that comes back again and again and again? What is the key word in this story? Happiness, yes. Be happy, happy, happy. So actually, Silverstein deals with the question, what's happiness? First, I get you money, you get happy, you get money. Money will make you happy. It solves this problem? No, it comes back. So if it's not money, I'm not saying money is not good, but money is not the final the final goal in your life. It can be to help you to get to happiness, but this is not happiness. I know many people are so happy. You know, the highest rate of committing suicide was in Sweden, and people are very rich there. You know, in India, there's no one commits suicide. I mean, it's very very, very poor, but so money doesn't make you happy. So if it's not money, I get a house because I want a family. I'll be married. If you look at the pictures, and I hope you will keep this presentation if you need it. He was so happy from his wife and the children, then he leaves with a small suitcase. He wants to go away, he wants to go far away, to sail far away, so he needs a boat. So if it's not money, and if it's not family and a house, let's go abroad. And he comes back in the end so poor and so old without nothing. So what's happiness? I believe that Silverstein deals here with the meaning of happiness. So what's happiness? It's not money. I'm not saying a family is not good. No. Some people are so happy in their life, and some are not. Okay. What is the message that Silverstein wants us to? So what's happiness? It's not money. It's not house. It's not going abroad. Chutz laaretz, what you call in Hebrew. Sailing away, seeing the world. So what's happiness? This is the main question of Silverstein. It's very deep here. So what's happiness, my friends? Any idea what's happiness?
Now, based on this story, is the giving, the moment.
Okay, so that's a good start. Some people that can give, can afford to give, they are happy. But something given behind it.
I would say also being able to see the results of what you give, whether it's through the money or the time or just the relationships that you cultivate. And so for the tree to look back and the tree seeing what the boy was doing.
Who is able to give?
Anyone.
Some people can't give. Those people who are dependent can't give. This kid was not happy because he could never give. So happiness, believe me, my friends, is independence. To be independent, someone who is dependent can't be happy. It's also true when it speaks about nation, but also about individuals. If you are dependent on others, you'll be never happy. It's good to have a great relations, but everyone has to come independent. If you know his book is Missing Piece, it's the same idea. The same idea. Relations, good love, family can be only by two people who are not dependent, but are independent, and everyone brings his part to this partnership. That's what his message is. And since I have another 2 minutes, Sorry it was so short. Usually this workshop takes about 2 hours. Let's go. Please take us, Daniel, to the end of the presentation. I want to show you, I always connect whenever I teach to Jewish sources. I want to show you Charity Tzedakah by Maimonides, the Rambam. This is a special part of the Rambam. It's called Matnot Aniyim, which means present to the poor, giving to the poor. I want to show you, I want to take you. So Rambam shared with us, there are 8 levels of giving. Okay, let's see, it goes from bottom up. What is the lowest? Let's take us to the next slide, please. What is the lowest level of giving? The lowest level is when one gives unwillingly. Let's say, usually it happens to me, I stop in a stoplight and I see the guy, please give me money. And I know he doesn't need it. It's their job. I know there are some people who do it and they really don't need it. So he says, I'm so hungry. So my wife told me, why don't you give him an apple or a sandwich? So I kept it. I listened to my wife usually. I gave him the apple and he threw it back to me. He said, I need money. So I understood that this guy is not hungry. So the lowest level is when one gives unwillingly. You give and say, take it and leave me, because I'm embarrassed. I can't look at his face and not to give him. Okay. Higher than that is number 7. Go to the next one. When one gives, he gives with happiness inadequately, but gives gladly and with a smile. Let's say you give him a quarter. What's a quarter? Or a shekel? It's nothing. He can do nothing. But at least you give it with a smile. It's better than to give him $2, but to just throw it away on him. The higher way of it, when one gives to the poor person after being asked. The idea is to give him, to see if he needs it, to give him before he asks. But this is higher than the last one. Higher than that is number 5, is to give, yes, when one gives to the poor person directly into his hand, but gives before being asked. So if you see, what is the idea behind these 4 levels of giving? You see something in common? The idea here is to keep his dignity. Because even a poor man has his own kavod, his own dignity. You shouldn't look down at people. Okay, so the Rambam Maimonides teaches us that this is higher when you give him before he asks you, because you're supposed to see his needs. Higher than that, number 4, when one does not know to whom one gives, but the poor person does know his benefactor. The greatest sages used to tie coins into their robes and throw them behind their backs, and the poor would come up and pick the coins out of their robes so that they would not be ashamed. See, the same idea. Don't embarrass people when you give them. By the way, you know where is the source? There's a mitzvah of when you cut your fields, it's called leket shichecha upe'ah. Like, you know, the story of Ruth Moavia. The poor people used to come, and whatever it falls down, you're not supposed to pick it up, but you're not supposed to look back. You're supposed to go ahead, and they have to pick it up. That's where it comes from. Higher than that, number 3, yes, when one knows to whom one gives, but the recipient doesn't know his benefactor. The greatest sages used to walk about and put coins in the doors of the poor giving tzedakah publicly to an unknown reception. So this is what we do today. We don't want to embarrass them. Higher than that is what we call matan baseter, anonymously. So the person who gives doesn't know the person who gets it, and the one who gets it doesn't know who gave it. So most people think that this is the highest way of giving, matan baseter. Yes, that's what we teach. No, my friends. The Rambam Maimonides tells us very clearly that the highest way of giving is number one. The highest level is to support a fellow Jew by giving an interest-free loan to a person in need, forming a partnership with a person in need, giving a grant to a person in need, finding a job or teaching him a profession. And that's again, like Silverstein idea, independence. So happiness is independence, my friends, is being able to take care of yourself. And that's what I think we as teachers should remember. Whenever they ask you a question, answer like a good Jew with a question. But first, give a good feedback, like a positive reinforcement. I know that you know the answer. Oh, it's easy. Come on, let's try. Because most of the kids, or most of us, we are lazy. We want to get the solution right away, bang. No. A good teacher answers with a question. Okay? Go to the first school. By the way, show me the translation in Hebrew. So those who translated the book and called it a generous tree confused so many people, not just me. For many years, people thought that this is a generous tree. It's not generous, it's a giver. If you want to be a generous teacher or a generous parent, don't give the answers. Ask back the question. Don't give the fish. Teach him how to fish himself. Give him the chaka. Yes. Give him the way to learn how to fish. Can you give us a full screen? Okay, thank you. Can I see the faces? Claudia, Tiki, Julia. Okay. Now I want to ask you, what do you take from this lesson? Give me a feedback. What do you take home from this activity? Moni, can you be with us? Are you still with us? I don't know. Yes, some of you, yes. So
yes, I am. Yes, I am here.
Okay. So what is your conclusion? What did I try to share with you?
Okay, I will start. First, thank you so much for this presentation, because so many times we read the book in English, in Hebrew, and every time that you read it in different ages, you learn more and you get more, and you look at some point, and today so beautifully, you showed us and really related it to our work, our job as educators, and to be really like sensitive and to the students, and not to be so generous really, and to challenge them, to force them. It's only for us, to be aware in day-to-day when we work with the kids. So I really thank you. It's and to really relate it also to the 8 steps of Rambam. It's beautiful, very nice. So thank you.
This is my way. Listen, if I would come to my class and teach you Rambam, no one would listen to me. But after you teach, I wanted to give you, this is experiential way to teach Yahadut, but start with a story. Then they say, wow, Rambam thought about it? Really? I do it with teachers from secular schools. They say, wow, Rambam. I say, yes. And I call this In Hebrew, I call it when Rambam met Shel Silverstein. You know, they have the same idea. The idea is to develop independence. If you want to be a real educator, don't give the answer. Challenge them to find them by themselves. That's why this tree is a giver, is not generous at all. He wanted to develop independence. He didn't want the kid, he wanted the kid to stay with him. He's egoistic, not the kid. The kid is a poor kid. The kid is someone who was never taught to give back. And you should be, if you want to challenge your kids, you know, usually I have another session about transformational leadership. And you know, those people who challenge, you remember those parents or teachers who weren't so easy with you, were hard on you, but in a positive way. I mean, you knew they mean good, you know, you trusted them, but they didn't give you the answers. You wanted to work hard. You know, this teacher was mushy, you know, he wants always to give the answers. He's not an educator. He's a transactional teacher, not a transformational teacher. If you want to make something meaningful with your kids, with your employees, with your soldiers, with your student, wherever you are, whether you're a commander, an educator, a parent, a manager, you should think about your people and challenge them. This is the high thing to do, to challenge people and to let them be a partner. So what did we do now? It was a dialogue, you see? And this is a very important way to teach in experiential learning. So any other comments or question? I have another minute or what? Daniel? 1 minute. Okay. This is my boss, Daniel. Yes.
May I add something?
Yes.
Okay. So experiential learning is, from my own experience, is a way that you do give children, you give them the tools, you give them examples or exemplars, and you ask them to become free thinkers and take those tools and go forward and come up with ideas. It's not an easy thing to do because, as with the tree and the boy, we become so dependent. The kids are they're looking for that guidance. They want to make sure they don't have the wrong answer. But one of the things I think that we have to be able to say to them, there is really no wrong answer, because what you think and what you believe, you bring them into everything that you do. And I think that's one of the things that Shel Silverstein was also saying is, you give, like the tree gave the boy the branches and said, okay, you have them. But what he did with them afterwards was also a lesson. What we don't know is what kind of house he built. Or did he have other people? So there's still that little mystery. And that's what we want children to kind of fill in those blanks by providing their own take on that mystery. That's how.
Very much, Lynn. Since we ran out of time, I want you just keep it in mind, and whenever, remember, a generous tree is not a giver. A generous tree asks a question and challenges a student. Thank you very much for being so nice and listening and participating. To that, Daniel, take it over from here.
Amazing, amazing. So I wanted to say a big thank you to Dr. Simcha Leibovich. It's just, I've read the story a million times, but I've never read it. I feel like all this whole time I was just kind of flipping the pages and looking at the pretty pictures. So I very much appreciate it. I always appreciate the new perspective. I want to say thank you to you all for joining us tonight. For me, it's a little easier. It's 4:56, but for those of us who are on the East Coast, it's much later at night. And so I appreciate you sticking around, spending that extra time with us, spending your evening with us. It's one of the things that we value most is your time. So just to wrap up, a couple small short announcements. We have our Tu B'Shvat program, which is going to be launching in January. But if you are interested, I'm going to put my email down here just to send me a quick email. If you want to let me know that you're interested, or if you want to let me know that you'd like to sign up, we just need to know how many students you have and how many classrooms you would like to enjoy. What the program this year is focused on 4 different communities and how they each engage with Tu B'Shvat, from the Kabbalists to the modern agriculturalists to modern day Israelis, and reaching a little further back into the ancients. It comes with interactive activities with another Chia Pet. Last year we did a Herzl Chia Pet. It was such a big success. And this year we're going to do David Ben Gurion, and next year we're going to do Golda Meir. So we're working our way through all of the important people. Just let us know. The program is completely available to you. So you just have to send me a quick email. And we're going to have a training about that material, other materials, as well as a speaker next month, December 15th, just to put on your radar, the exact same time, exact same channel, the exact same setup. So a big thank you to everyone. Thank you to Zohar, to Dr. Simcha Leibovich, for everyone for bringing this on. And I really look forward to seeing everyone next time in a month. And in the meantime, happy Thanksgiving. Which is crazy thing to say.
לילה טוב. לילה
ערב
טוב.
טוב, תודה רבה.
חנוכה שמח.